We're in, hey, FIFA
We're in.
Ramble. Whoa, woo.
Welcome.
Do a little roundup, little wrap up, little see what's going on here.
We'll see what's going on.
See
We got
what's
loads to
going on.
talk about.
We got tons. We were just
doing a bit
discussing
of wrapping up.
other transfers outside of the World
Yeah,
Cup.
we
Other
dragged
things
into
going on.
league football.
We were
again.
chatting about France. We were chatting about Italy, but we're actually here because we're really excited to just go through the intensity of the next level, next game time of World Cup.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know, it's the World Cup.
The World Cup's been good, hasn't it?
It's been amazing.
It's been my favourite one since now.
Amazing. The fact is, this World Cup is the most open World Cup that I've ever seen.
It's very open. It is very open.
And Christ knows where it's going to go from here, but it's going to be great because it could go a whole host of different ways. There's going to be some upsets, going to be some surprises, but what we have seen is highly impressive performances from all the teams which are involved. Uruguay, Portugal.
Yeah, Uruguay, Portugal.
Uruguay, Cavani, your man.
Cavani is my boy. Cavani is my absolute boy.
Best striker in world football?
Best centre forward in world football.
Okay.
Best centre forwards. I clarified it on one of the World Cup because people have said, okay, no. My argument, I put out this: if you have a goal scorer in your side, it don't have to be a number 9, don't have to be a striker, just a goal scorer like Mbappe, who's not an out-and-out striker, like Suarez, who's not an out-and-out striker, Messi, Ronaldo, these sorts of players score goals, but they're not out-and-out strikers. If you need someone to play alongside them or drop in behind, but there's no one better than Cavani at that. Nobody.
Drop in the fact that you've got on your other side of Cavani, Luis Suarez.
Yeah, you've got Luis Suarez.
If not the most deadliest duo in the World Cup today.
Well,
right now.
Name
Neymar Mbappe.
Yeah, name the better.
Neymar Mbappe.
Yeah. It's Cavani's
the France squad. Yeah.
Right.
I think that's the most deadly attack. You've got Luis Suarez because everyone's looking to Cavani and not looking at the Suarez factor.
If you're just looking at playing Uruguay have got 2 strikers. They've got Suarez, they've got Cavani. They don't play as a 9 and 10, really. They're way more fluid than that. They've got Laxalt on the other wing. They have got a lot of width in there. And Cavani at points against Portugal was practically playing as a central midfielder. He was dropping that deep.
He can drop wherever.
He was dropping that deep.
It's an effective way. Like those guys just score.
If we're talking attack overall, then starting-wise, I think you can't really argue against Cavani and Suarez. However, if you're talking about strength, then you have to look at France. Now they play each other in the next game, and it's a game I cannot wait for.
It will be great. It will be wonderful.
Because if you look at the attack that they've taken, France, they've got my preferred 3 in that setup would be Griezmann playing in the middle as a false 9, as sort of the centre, with Ousmane Dembele and Kylian Mbappe. That's my front 3. No, he played the first game. That's still my preferred 3. However, he's now switched to Giroud.
That's on Friday, isn't it?
Yeah, Friday. That's Friday.
Wow.
It's the early kickoff on Friday. It's going to be one hell of a game. But you add in then to that attack, you've got Giroud as another option. You've got Torben as another option.
I think he's brought on for the first time after the win.
You just can't fit in. This is why I said from the start I think France would win. And I've said it again, I think the only reason they won't win it is because of Didier Deschamps. He's already doing stuff which I think
it's too early to
is good. No, I think
this is the time where he just takes
No, Deschamps is worrying as a coach. He is worrying.
You need it. Okay.
He's not doing what I thought he would do.
I've got a question for you. Got a question.
Yeah.
What's been the most entertaining game out of?
Yeah.
So, Spain, Portugal, or France, Argentina.
Okay.
Because that France-Argentina game was just chaos theory. It was just chaos.
Yeah, it was something else. That was next.
Argentina.
How would those
just
two, France, Argentina?
Like a leaky boat.
France, Argentina. Because what I liked about the France-Argentina game was that France didn't really get out of first or second
just
gear.
got out the blocks.
And then all of a sudden they found themselves 2-1 down, and suddenly it was as if something clicked where they just went, right, we know we're trying to get into this tournament slowly and just not really, and something clicked and they just went, right, we're going to have them. And they scored 3 goals in what, 10
So we're just doing that.
Yeah.
And then someone just swinging.
And they just went, oh, all right, fine.
So this is our impression of France, Argentina. I will play the role of Argentina.
It's Argentina. Bang!
Oh, that really hurt.
Yeah, and then bang!
Roundhouse kicked the face after that.
Like that. That's what it was.
It just because we were watching this because it was the two teams which we kept an eye on. Like, I thought maybe Argentina can do something if they kick it up a gear.
Yeah.
And you look at the attack and think something has to click here, something has to work. And with yourself, France, the most detailed, deep squad that you've ever seen with such quality.
They're unbelievable. Every position has got
it's an outrage.
And we watched this.
I went for thinking a bit underdoggy, thinking a bit wild and wonderful, a bit wacky, a bit out there, and I thought Argentina, if they get their shit together, but they just didn't.
Well, I said if France, I picked France from when we did our World Cup preview show, which was about 3.5 weeks before the tournament started. I said France. We did another one the day before the tournament started, and I stuck with them. And I'm still sticking with them because of the strength that they had in that squad in depth. Tolisso cannot get in the team, and he's Bayern Munich's record signing. And he can't get in the side. What I like about him in particular is in midfield. If Deschamps, what I didn't like about him in the last tournament of the Euros was it felt like he didn't feel Kante was enough as a holding midfielder. Exactly. You don't need to have anyone next to Kante. But he decided to play Pogba as a secondary holding midfielder. So one, undermined the ability of Kante to hold the whole team up and to stop any attacks from happening. And also nullified Paul Pogba's greatest strength, which is his creativity and his ability going forward. He hasn't done that at this World Cup. He did in the first game somewhat because he played Kante with Pogba, and I think Tolisso may have started that game. I think he may have started it against Australia. And then he played Dembele, Griezmann and Mbappe. And Pogba was asked to play deeper. It didn't come off. He scored, Pogba, but it didn't. Then from then on, what he's done is he's put Kante as holding. He's playing Matuidi as the box-to-box, almost like to that middle. And he's basically saying to Paul Pogba, well, those two are there, you do what you want. And he had a blinder against Argentina. Yeah. He had an absolute blinder against
Yeah, and basically Argentina absolutely got dominated that game. But they from it out and just showed if they just push the intensity, that's exactly what they can do.
I can't wait. Uruguay-France is going to be one hell of a game.
Going from that outrageously open game, like ping pong football, and it was beautiful to watch. We go on the other side of that, we go Russia-Spain. And Spain just threw everything. They tried to throw the kitchen sink at Russia, but they just couldn't do it. What? They were so strong in their attack. It was like a play. It was like a little piece of theatre of like attack versus defence. Yeah. And which prevailed. So I really enjoyed the juxtaposition of those two. And brutal. They gave nothing away. They just could not break them, and they played for that draw, and they got lucky with an advantage with those penalties. And they just did well, and that being fair, did incredible. I think he deserves them because he's been in that team for probably about a decade now.
At some points. I mean, anyone who's played Championship Manager will know, or Football Manager.
Oh, he's cheap.
Will know he was cheap and he was quality. And I've seen Akinfaya a few times play for CSKA in the Champions League. I saw him play twice at Old Trafford.
Not really last season, but
no, I've seen him in the flesh, and he didn't impress as much, but he's been there, he's done it. They played for the draw, one of the most aesthetically pleasing from a neutral.
Who knows? It could be doing a Greece. It could be doing a Greece.
The fact that
it just crush their way through.
Well, a lot of that game was a bit of a shower, it was. Well, it wasn't the most exciting
What
game.
you were looking for,
that was Spain's fault. That wasn't Russia's fault.
Spanish penetration is what you were looking for. That's what you were crying out for. You messaged me. You said that
I need some Spanish.
Aubergine emoji to go
I said
along.
I need some Spanish penetration here. We were
I
sat
need
in,
it. I need it now.
Where were we in Russia? Were we in St. Petersburg? I can't remember where we were. And he'd gone off. He was looking for.
And he was shouting out, "I need some Spanish
I
penetration."
sent him a message.
He was shouting. I heard him down the way.
And look, it was the reason that game wasn't the most exciting. It wasn't Russia. They admitted they played for penalties, but Spain did nothing. I said on again on the daily podcast, I said I think tiki-taka football now, tiki-taka, I think it's dead. I think it's dead.
It can be done because
it looks outdated.
Russia did give everything up. Look, I don't used to take the credit away from Russia what they did there. It was a defensive performance and a half that, and they just crunched them. They just could not break through that. And they had a few chances, and then they just made it happen in the penalty.
Yeah.
But I like that because it gives this competition some edge.
Spain
Everyone expected Spain to get through, and Russia, the home nation, home advantage. That was great. The one game which was the most controversial, which I did enjoy watching, and there was a huge thing, and not much was said about it, was Croatia-Denmark. Because Croatia just were brutal with them, and they just could not break through.
No, they couldn't. Denmark were
and
solid.
There was a cynical foul in the last draws of the game.
Yeah. And
it was filthy.
Yeah, it was.
And VAR determined that even though it was a tackle from behind, and he managed to get the ball, I don't think he thought he touched it.
No.
But VAR determined that he did. The penalty was given. He stayed on the pitch.
Yeah.
And Luka Modric showed it was gutsy. It was ballsy and gutsy.
To step out again after missing.
Step up again and slot it home. Because that could have wrecked his.
Those goalkeepers were superb.
Schmeichel. Let's do a little segment on Schmeichel.
Schmeichel and Subasic as well was phenomenal.
Subasic is great because he goes under the radar being one of those really solid, Thibaut Courtois sort of sturdy goalkeepers who've done really well this tournament. But it's not just this tournament. He's a phenomenal goalkeeper, and I highly rate him. When you consider him to someone like Ospina, who'd have you back? Who prefer?
Yeah, I would have Subasic.
You know, definitely all the way. But I'm so impressed with Croatia. I think Croatia are everyone's little secret little underdog fan.
Well, look, they play Russia now in the next round, and it's
going to be a great game.
It's going to be the first game where there's
all great games.
Feels like there's actually going to be some pressure on Russia almost, which is odd, But it's another home fixture for them, and I think
good Croatia. It's like
Russia are looking good.
They did
look, Russia. I genuinely think that Russia could make the semi-final
with home advantage.
They've got home advantage, and Croatia did not look as solid because Denmark didn't allow them the pockets of space that Argentina did. For that, let's be honest, the Croatian midfield, you've got Tadic,
Rakitic,
Modric, and then you on the left, completely Perisic, and then you've got Mandzukic as well, buzzing around. That's quality. That's superb. But if Denmark just didn't give them the space to work in, and it nullified them somewhat.
I still think they were dominant all the way through that.
Oh, they were. They just weren't dominant to the point where it was almost like.
I didn't see Denmark have much of a sniff on goal.
It's the same with Spain, being Russia just sneaking around again. My point is, I thought that what Denmark did to Croatia was very similar to what Russia did to Spain.
Just shit out of it.
Yeah, and just they know what they're good at. It's like Spain had over 1,000 passes, but they had no plan B. And they couldn't break. Russia had plan A, and it worked. And when Spain's plan A stopped working, they just kept trying to make it work, rather than change. And if Russia can do that against Croatia, I don't think it's out of the realms of possibility that Russia will beat them. I don't think it is.
So I loved every single game of this. We also need a little shout out to Japan as well.
Yeah.
Because they show great determination, but I think they're inexperienced and they just went for it in extra time.
Yeah.
That corner where they actually threw everything happened, threw everyone up for it,
Yeah.
just try and end it before penalties. They just shot themselves in the
They
foot.
did. Look, Belgium were
But it was great to see because that's a gutsy thing to do.
worse.
And to be at that point, it must be heartbreaking for the Japanese fans because they did so well. And
To
it
go
was so
2-0
hard
up,
to break
to
down.
go 2-0 up against a side like Belgium.
Out of nowhere, like it really caught them off guard as well. They were properly on the back foot.
Caught me off guard. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, it was just one of those wonderful things about
I couldn't work out what I was watching. But Belgium, the
this?
turning point was when Belgium got a bit of luck. Because look, okay, Vertonghen's header was brilliant.
He did not
He
mean
didn't mean it. No, it wasn't like he aimed for it. He headed the ball and it went in.
I'm disappointed with the goalkeepers.
He's the worst goalkeeper at the World Cup. Japan's goalkeeper was woeful. All tournament. True.
Yeah,
It is hard. He was the worst of the World Cup. He was dreadful.
he was bad. But
The positioning was horrendous.
I hate he did one of those like computer FIFA dives into the back of the net sort of. When it's not down in it, it's you need to be moving your feet across.
He was the worst keeper at the World Cup. He was.
And that could save it.
But after that goal went in, because they got a bit of luck, it was almost as if Belgium were like, right, we can score against them. Here we go. And then they did. And the ending was superb.
The ending was great. That counter-attack
See,
was an incredible team goal. Started off and triggered by
my favourite game of the
De
tournament.
Bruyne. Really?
Yeah, potentially. It's not. My favourite game of the tournament was...
You had some other ones as well. What was the Sweden one? Sweden versus... How you messaged me saying? It's fun because Sweden are useless at attacking and then another team is useless at defending.
Was it Sweden, Japan?
Yeah, I think so. You're enjoying the mixture of things going on there. But look, Sweden, and we've been through Sweden England now because Sweden just grazed through. That was the worst game of this group stage for me. It was woeful from Switzerland. They had no fight to a team. Like Sweden are the weakest team in this, in my opinion, because they're resilient at the back and in midfield, sure, a little bit.
South Korea. Sweden, South Korea.
Yeah, okay.
Sweden, South Korea was.
So you had the position of Sweden being awful in attack, and then you had South Korea being awful at the back. So put those two together, and it's just like weirdness.
It was unbelievable. It was such an under the radar game.
Yeah.
The Germany game where they went out.
Yeah.
When Korea beat them.
Saw that.
That was pretty good. I enjoyed that one. I think that was my favourite.
And there was a big VAR.
But yeah, before we move on too much onto Sweden, I would suggest that we look at Brazil, Mexico to keep a little. Yeah, because we've covered Uruguay, France, Russia, and Croatia. We've covered
Mexico.
Belgium.
Could have done Brazil. So much more. Look, they had so much more in their locker, but
Belgium
they failed
Brazil.
to do.
What a game that is, though.
They're all good games.
They're all good games. So Mexico, basically,
didn't give everything that was in the tank.
They should have done a Russia.
Ochoa was fantastic in goal.
He's good.
He had another good another good tournament.
Very good keeper.
He was very exposed.
Lozano is probably going to make his move from PSV now, you'd imagine.
Yeah.
If not this summer, then soon, because now the world is starting to recognise how good he is.
Do you know what I enjoyed about Mexico game?
Yeah.
Rafa Marquez.
Marquez.
Legend of the game.
I love Rafa Marquez. Name me another player he's played in 5 World Cups. Amazing. But not only has he played in 5, because other people have, he's captained them at 5 World Cups. That's unprecedented.
He's a phenomenal player.
Probably no one's going to do that again.
He's always my favourite Mexican player in the World Cup when he was when he was of his time and when he was in the mix.
He made his international debut in 1997. So, and he wasn't picked for the 98 World Cup. If he had been, this would have been his 6th World Cup. But he's played in 5 and he's captained them in 5.
So that was impressive. But I just felt like Mexico had more to offer, and they just didn't cut.
They said afterwards that they decided they were going to attack Brazil, and Brazil never ever looked as though they were actually trying to do anything. They just went about their business and won.
I think it's not been said, but everyone is looking at Brazil to be the favourite. They are their favourites here, right?
They are the favourites.
Out and outright favourites.
They play Belgium next, and
this will be a great test.
It will be a great test, but I think it's one that actually. The problem I have, well, I look at Belgium. There's two schools of thought here, and it's the front. Like they're both obviously really, really good going forward, and I think they're on par.
Yeah.
I think they're on par. I know you could argue Brazil are better, but I think they're on par.
I think Brazil have got better tactics.
They've got Belgium have got they've got Lukaku. Obviously they've got
Hazard.
They've got Hazard. They've got Mertens.
Dries has been one of my favourites.
Yeah, Mertens, Hazard, Lukaku against Jesus, Willian, Neymar, and Firmino on the bench. It probably, I would say, it's on par with each other. I really would. Midfield, Belgium have got some damn good players in midfield. In goal, I think they're equal on par as well. The problem is Brazil's defence is much better than Belgium's. Belgium are playing Boyata. No.
Yeah, but he's probably the weak link of that.
Yeah.
Because Company's been very stern, and then you've got
but he's not
fit.
Company's a good defender. However, he hasn't been fit for about 3 years. He's not as good as he was. He's getting through it on muscle memory.
Old is that?
Yeah, look, they've got a good defence. However, it's not as good as Brazil's. Brazil have got Miranda and Thiago Silva and Marcelo.
Marcelo is injured.
He's probably going to be back. They got Felipe Luis. I mean, look, if they had Alexandra, it wouldn't have even
They have
mattered.
got more depth. It's going to be a great game.
The defence is better, and that's where I think it'll tell. As much as they're both very good going forward, I think Brazil are sterner at the back and more organised.
I don't think Neymar's come to life. Like he's going to shine more, isn't he?
He's going to probably just keep getting better. The only thing I would say, I think that it's time. I think they should play Firmino from the start in the next one.
No, I think they can use him sparingly.
I like him as an impact sub.
He made major impact.
Not major impact, but I also
You'd
think
hate to see him coming on if you're a defender.
But then you'd also hate to see a very fresh Gabriel Jesus coming on.
Very fresh.
Yeah, I mean, imagine that pace.
Fresh.
Imagine that pace, and he's fully rested.
They've got a ton of options where they could just mix it up and stuff. I like the way they've just made that move so easy looking. Like they split Mexico, and it's the same run.
Yeah.
Like Neymar scored on the second one. Like it was that same sort of
exactly.
Like cut them open. Very efficient, very effective way of just dumping amount at this stage of the competition. And I know they've got more to offer. Neymar, has he got a bad right ankle and is being targeted? Because I get he was stamped on.
Yes.
He was outright. It looked like it was a targeted little attack for me. What I would say is they do like those type of creative players do need to be more looked after by the refs, and I don't like the way how he handled that, and he's been ridiculed by Eric Cantona in like a video as well as parodied, and it's all over Twitter how much he rolls around.
He rolls around a lot.
He gets targeted. People don't realise that they're going hard on Neymar because he's the most great one, and they will hack him down no end, but I hate the fact that he has to get theatrical to make a point of how he's getting fouled.
Yeah, I don't. What I think, my opinion is,
I know football is
theatrical players, not theatrical, like
theatrical
players.
I don't want to make a scene.
The more creative players get fouled more. That's true. You cannot argue that. They get fouled more. Ronaldo gets fouled more.
Raheem Sterling's.
Yeah, Ronaldo gets fouled more when Real Madrid play
Messi's
than Casemiro does, or Cruz does. He gets fouled more. Neymar, the other night, he had about 60. I think it was 16 fouls. I read 16 fouls.
That's how many? Annoy you, right?
Yeah. How many were given? 3. But he was fouled. And we go back through it. The fact of the matter is that unless these players go down, the ref is not giving them the free kick, by and large. We're seeing that somewhat change this World Cup, but that's true. They don't seem to be giving them. So when Neymar's rolling around, he's doing that because he knows if he doesn't over-exaggerate it, he won't get the foul. He won't win the free kick. Whereas if the ref was like, well, you can foul a player without bringing them down, and was stronger in refereeing the game to the rule book, all these theatrics would get cut out.
Because it leads into my next point of that is not a strong enough way of VAR, is it? You can't do that because that will ruin the rhythm of the game. What I want to see refs doing is picking up on this shithousing a lot more than they are, and just eradicating those little errors in there. But I think that will come to part. I think that'll come into fruition. VAR is proving itself as this competition goes on as an integral part of these calls being made. Not only no one's got an issue with the offsides. You can check that completely. A couple of skeptical fouls, like the Sweden game.
Yeah,
Sweden. That cynical Switzerland foul, which he was walking, that was definite, right?
Yeah, it was definite.
Was it inside the box or outside the box? In another game, in another time, that would have been a more integral
he
situation.
Gave the penalty, didn't he?
He did initially, but VAR confirmed. And that's like a borderline sort of thing, isn't it?
It's a massive step forward in the game.
Absolutely huge. So anyone who's got issue with VAR, for any pedantic reason, it is getting there, and I've been nothing but impressed by the calls that are being made by VAR, and it's going to get quicker as well. I love it. It is a wonderful thing to have, and you can see it. The ref checks it. There's 4 angles. He sees it on each one. He can just make that call, and it's getting there already. We've seen from the beginning of this tournament to here where we are now. It makes it so much of a level, even playing field for either side. It's just a reliance on getting those refs up to speed and how fast they can get those decisions. I think is all working really nicely. I've got no problem with it. I think it's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it.
How would you have problems with it? I think it's that mentality of, say, England, if you're an England fan, you're not, if Harry Kane gets fondled in the box, like he has been, and it's not given, there's uproar.
I said in our Russian Ramble, the podcast we recorded while we were out there, people getting annoyed at VAR is like my nan getting annoyed at the microwave because it ruined proper cooking.
Or taking the TV remote out when you should take your mobile phone, think, why is it not working?
Yeah, it's just what it is it's people is not liking change, and they think it's going to take unpredictability, certain elements of the game out, and da-da-da. Well, it's fine, but it's going to happen. Nobody.
It should happen.
No one watches Wimbledon and complains about Hawkeye. Nobody. Because it's been tested, used, honed in, and it works. And it's streamlined now. And it wasn't streamlined straight away. It wasn't like that, bang, it works, and it's perfect. They had to keep plugging away.
It's just such a useful thing, and this just makes it so much more fair on so many different levels, which people have overlooked. It's not a subjective thing anymore. It's not just down to how the referee's flipping character is on the day and what mood he's in, and if a player's annoyed him or whatever. There's issues which I think should be ironed out. I hate it when players crowd the referee and they piss and moan over decisions in their way. Guess what? Obviously, you're going to think of that because you're for that team. Obviously, you're going to have issue with it. Yeah. Not the rest are going to actually, you've got a good point there. It is if as a player, you should stop these theatrics that go along with it. Crowding the ref's not going to save you. No. What I hate seeing that because you're going to be biased against your team. That's why VAR is getting to an issue. If you're a team and there's something that's gone against your team, you're going to hate it. If it goes for it, you're going to go, good call. That is subjectivity. That is just the way how things are. Take a step back from the situation and look at it from a neutral perspective. It shows sense. It shows moving forward in technology, fusion. Bang, there it is. It just makes it more of a level playing field. And if you don't think that way, guess what? You're biased against one of the teams. That's how it works.
It's just how it works. Look,
but I hate the crowding.
The way to stop the crowding is quite simple. It's how they did it in rugby. In rugby union, what they did was the only 2 players who can talk to the ref are captains. If you want to speak to the ref, when a decision is made, the only player who he will speak
People are going to get heated. They're going to come over.
Captain. That's fine. You say to him, exactly. You say, you're not the captain. Back off.
I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah, no, I'm not speaking to you. You're not a captain.
You captain?
And then if they carry on, right, you're booked. You're yellow carded because you're not talking to me.
But I think really strongly about this because I'm biased and I'm having hand movements. Because I think that was a foul. I think it wasn't a foul. Why?
Yeah, that's how you stop it, though, isn't it? You just say, right at the start, the ref goes in. The only two players who can speak to me on the pitch about decisions are the captains. If anybody else doesn't, you will get a warning. If you still don't listen, you will get booked. And you get one warning per game. It's not per decision. So if a player moans at the referee and he says, you're not the captain, back away now, that's your warning. So the next time, if you moan again, bang, it's a straight yellow card.
And there's a number of issues which
there will be a lot. I realise that a lot of players will get sent off if this rule is brought in.
It's not going to be brought in.
To start. No,
you're a dreamer.
That's the way it should be.
The one thing I've seen more of a surge on recently is, and this is one of the things which they do get wrong from time to time, when there's been a bit of overacting to get another player booked, they sell it to the ref, and the ref makes a decision. When you see it back in, like in the replay, you see that should never, like, because this matters at this stage of the game. If they get a yellow, they're out. Yeah. So it's the whole like Gaza 90 sort of situation you have to get at this level. Now, if they like sell that to the referee and he buys it, what can you do? It's not 100%. It's down to those little decisions which the ref just sees as well. That's definite card. Boom. That can't be taken away now. That's in there. Yeah. That is there. And when it's not, and when it's like when the players go down, it's like, oh, it's faintest bit of contact, and they make a big thing, and then it makes a bigger deal. These are the decisions which aren't 100% yet, and that's down to the referees hopefully being on his game with that.
Look, it's going to improve, isn't it? It's going to get better.
It's going to improve. I got faith it'll improve, but that's one of the little.
I
love rambling about VAR because I enjoy watching
it. I enjoy it, and it's going to just keep getting better. They're going to keep testing it next season because it's not been ruled to be brought in yet. So it's going to be another year of testing it to hone it. And I think
league's going to be testing it?
Well, Premier League, because it tested it last year, didn't it? Yeah. The Premier League, and then they voted to not bring it in for this season permanently. They will continue. So, like last year,
so they got one more game of real football, and then this will kick up to the next level. Integrate it.
Last year where it was a couple of games. There were a few standard games which were being tested for VAR. That's going to continue into this season. The World Cup will have helped because it's allowing players to get used to it. It's allowing coaches, managers, everybody, referees, they'll get used to this across all the leagues in Europe. So it will start getting brought in now. As of season after next, it will start being brought in. But I think it's a good thing.
That's another thing there. Other thing I just want to mention again, still haven't seen a hairy footballer. It's not happening. Not going to see it.
No hairy footballer. I mean, look,
you can see that, can't you?
That's the level we're looking for.
You can see that. It's there.
The only other game that we haven't talked about leading into the quarters is the England game, but we've done a full podcast on it, so we won't talk about it again.
We've dissected that a little bit in the time. We could have waxed lyrical for hours and hours and hours and hours.
To wrap this up then, should we do I'm going to get you quick fire rounds.
Okay.
Yeah? Okay? So I would say the game, pick your winner.
Okay.
Be immediate.
Okay.
Uruguay, France.
France.
Brazil, Belgium.
Brazil.
Sweden, England.
England.
Russia, Croatia.
Croatia.
Okay, so that is, you think it would be France versus Brazil in the semi-final?
Yes.
And England versus Croatia in the other?
You think differently?
No, I think exactly the same. I think exactly the same.
Okay. I can't see it, but there's going to be upsets. There's going to be one of those that go to a penalty shootout.
I can see Russia winning, and I can see Belgium winning. I could argue both. I can see Uruguay beating France. I don't think they will, but I personally think we're going to see France versus Brazil and England versus Sweden. No, sorry, England. We definitely see England versus Sweden. England versus Croatia. Okay, out of that then, France versus Brazil.
I think France have got a bit of a vendetta those attackers together. Jesus!
Yeah.
Holy hell! But I think that France are stronger at the back if they get shit together.
I think if Brazil plays...
That's on the
Brazil
day.
play France, I think they're stronger at the back, and I think they've in the centre of midfield.
That can go anywhere. Do you know what I think it'll hinge on? If Paul Pogba shows up.
It could be Paul Pogba, but we're all talking about how Neymar could turn up. It could be Paul Pogba's World Cup.
Pogba has had a great
He's had a great tournament.
He's had a great tournament so far, and now I just think if he just ups it, which I think he should be, and every player should be just surging. I think that
he could do as Zidane in '98.
That surely
hopefully he won't do as Zidane.
Would prove his place on the level of
he
being
could do
world
as Zidane
class.
in '98. He really could.
So I think that's an interesting one. You back in France? Cause
yeah, I'm back in France. I think France will win it.
Okay.
England, Croatia. England. It's coming home ish.
Oh.
It's going to get football is
Croatia.
Football is coming home, but France are going to pick it up at customs.
And we'll bring it back.
Yeah,
it's on the way. Just got to the border, but
everyone's going to be waiting for it with a sign. It's coming home.
That'd be a grand occasion, that one.
And the Tweedy's going to ride past on a Harley with football. That
or it could be Russia, England. That'll be huge.
Russia, England would be.
I think those two games are going to be played.
really hope this is the one game where I'm really going to be rooting for a side, except the France games, because I just want to be proven right that France will win. But Sweden, England.
Okay, you go France. I'll go Brazil for that game.
Okay. And I'm just really going to be rooting for England to knock out Sweden because I just don't rate Sweden.
We both hate Sweden.
Can't stand them
because they are very physical at the back. They are their setup is very rigid at the back.
I like IKEA. I'm quite fond of ABBA. Your football team is shocking. Put it in the bin. Put it in a sauna.
The most
lock the door.
Frustrating, disappointing attack at this World Cup.
It's awful.
Apart from two players which we've pointed out, we like Lindelof.
Yeah, Lindelof is good. I
Lindelof
like Lindelof
a lot.
He can come out of the sauna when he wants.
Love Lindelof.
And Forsberg.
Forsberg. If you see Forsberg's, he actually got the goal because of absolutely shoddy defending by Switzerland.
Yeah.
But Forsberg was a force. He was fantastic in that game. And he's had a wonderful World Cup so far. So he is where the attack comes from predominantly.
But that's
and Lindelof at the back is very impressive.
But
apart from that, there's
come
nothing
on England.
I enjoy seeing Lindelof, but Sweden, they've got nothing up front to me, and it's just so frustrating to see because of that. So there are a little roundups,
We'll see how right we are. Or how wrong we are. I'm sure you'll all let us know.
We're going to switch off now and just ramble about transfers, which go under the radar because everyone's been smoking mirrors because everyone's taken an eye off the Premiership or little transfers.
Yeah.
So we're going to just discuss that.
Thank you very much for watching.
Thank you very much. We're going to do this now. Goodbye to you. I'll do